Hello, Mr. Dre back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about multiplication and more specifically coming up with a way to make memorizing our multiplication facts up to 12 times 12 a little bit easier. First of all, why? Why is memorizing our multiplication facts so important? You know, your teachers tell you this all the time, but why? Why is it so important? Well, think of a few other examples and then try to put it into perspective, right? Think of a football player who doesn't have the playbook memorized, right? Coach calls a play, that football player is going to have to call timeout and run over to the coach and say, "Hey coach, what do I do on this play?" Right? That's not good. Think of a chef who, instead of cooking, has to constantly look at a paper because the chef doesn't have the measurement conversions memorized. Oh, how many cups are in a pint? How many ounces are in a gallon? Right? A lot of wasted time. Again, not good. Think of a singer who doesn't have lyrics to his or her own song memorized. Right? I wouldn't want to go to a concert if that singer or that performer is holding up a piece of paper just to sing, right? Think of someone who works on computers. What if they don't have the keyboard memorized? Instead of typing and getting some work done, they're going to be looking for the Q or the Z or the W or the at symbol all day long instead of typing, right? So in math, whether it be in class, in school, or whether it be out in the real world, math is built on basic facts, whether it be addition or multiplication. So learning our facts is important, just like learning the lyrics to a song is important for a singer, right? Okay, so that was the why. Now here's the how. All right, kids, when you look at a multiplication chart and your family or teacher says, "Okay, memorize this," right? When you first look at it, it looks overwhelming. It looks daunting. How in the world am I going to memorize all these? Look, there's 144 different facts. Where do I start? Right? It's too much. I'll never be able to do this. That's what a lot of our kids think. Um, we're going to show you a way today to have it not look so overwhelming. Right? There's still going to be some work involved, but it's going to look a lot more doable than this does now. Okay? Let's get started. One cool thing about our multiplication facts. Multiplication is very similar to addition in that we have what is called turnaround facts. What do we mean by that? Well, if you know 2 times 4 is 8, okay, right here, 2 times 4 is 8, you also know 4 times 2 is 8, right? So 4 times 2 and 2 times 4, it's actually on here twice, okay? So if you know 4 times 2, you know 2 times 4. If you know 10 times 4, you know 4 times 10. All right. So you're going to notice that when we talk about facts going across and facts going down, you're going to notice that. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to highlight in green. Think green, go, or in this case, good. We're going to say green is good to go. We're going to highlight the facts that we are pretty sure you know. We're going to highlight those green. And then the only ones that we're going to have to practice are going to be left in white. Let's get started. We're going to cut 144 down big time. All right. The easiest number to multiply by is 1. We don't need to talk about it. You know that any number you multiply by 1 is itself. We're going to go ahead and highlight our 1 times tables, both going down and going across. We're going to highlight those green. You know those. Another easy one is 2. 2 is simply doubling the number that we're multiplying by, right? Also, every number on our multiplication chart that is a multiple of 2 is even. It goes 2, 4, 6, 8. For another pattern, you could think of it as adding to itself. So in other words, 4 times 2 is the same as 4 plus 4 to get 8. All right? So multiplying by 2 is another easy one. We know it. We can highlight those green. We know those. All right. Another easy one is multiplying by 5. Look at the pattern of 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on. Every multiple of 5 ends in either a 5 or a 0. All right. We know our 5 times tables. Now, there is one that you might say, well, wait a minute. I don't know 5 times 12 is 60. That might be true. That's understandable. But you do know 5 times 10 is 50. So all you need to do is to go from, instead of 10, go up 2 to 12. So instead of thinking 5 times 10 is 50, start at 50 and then say, okay, plus 5 more, 50, 55, 60. That must mean 5 times 12 is 60. So until you get 5 times 12 definitely memorized, there's a way for you to figure it out, right? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to highlight our 5 times tables, also green. This next one might be as easy as multiplying by 1. That is multiplying by 10. Any number, and place value, the rules of place value tells us this. Any number multiplied by 10, all you need to do is attach a 0 to the end of it, right? Look at the pattern. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and so on, right? Any number multiplied by 10, all you do is attach a 0 at the end of it. You might say, well, wait a minute. That's good for up to 10 times 10, but what about 10 times 11? What about 10 times 12? Those are hard. Not really. Look at, you just take the other factor 11 and add a 0. So 11 times 10 becomes 110. 11 times 12 becomes 120. So instead of 12, 120, 120. So multiplying by 10, you know. Okay? You know. Another one that is really, really easy is multiplying by 11. Look at the pattern for 11. 11, 22, 33, 44, up to 77, right? All you do is double the factor that you're multiplying 11 by. Okay? Now that works up until all the single digits it works for, up to 9. After 9, for 11 and 12, we're actually going to leave those white because for those are probably going to be two that you want to keep practicing. But 11 times a single digit is super easy. All you do is double that other digit. Super easy, right? So right now, look at all these that we have highlighted in green, right? All the ones in green, we're saying you should be good to go. Now, remember earlier when we talked about how most facts are actually on our multiplication table twice? We called those our turnaround facts. What I went and did is I highlighted in blue the turnaround facts. So for example, 4 times 3, which is 12, which is right here, its turnaround fact, 3 times 4, is 12 right there. So I went and highlighted it blue. After I did that, we are left with only 30 white facts that we are saying we want to be responsible for studying. Okay? We went from 144, started off all as white, all as saying that, we had to start and learn, all the way down to 30. Now, from here, where do we start? Okay, we have 30 facts that we want to start studying. Our double facts, such as 3 times 3, 4 times 4, 6 times 6, is usually a great place to start. I'm going to go and highlight those in red, right? That's a good place to start. And because it's only one digit, 9 times 9, 12 times 12, it's a little bit easier to learn. So there's actually 8 of those, right? So after we get those 8, we're down to 22. After we're down to 22, we're assuming that we don't know any of these, but it's possible maybe you know some, maybe you're a football fan and know all of your 7 times tables because of touchdowns, right? The nines, there are some great tricks to learn our 9 times tables, including a finger trick, which you can check out on YouTube or on Google. There's also some great patterns with the nines, right? Every multiple of 9, except for 9 times 11, the digits add up to 9. What do we mean? Well, 9 times 2, which is 18. 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 times 3, which is 27. 2 plus 7 is 9. 3 plus 6 is 9. 4 plus 5 is 9. So there are other tricks. Same with 12. Add 10 and then 2. Um, there are a lot of tricks with the ones that we still have not highlighted here that will make it even easier for you to learn, use a strategy, and then gradually get away from that strategy and have it memorized. All right. So we went from 144 facts all the way down to 30. And then once we learn these red ones, 22, and so on. So we hope this was helpful. If you know any tricks of your own that you'd like to share with us, leave a comment down below or a question. Feel free to leave a comment down below. We would appreciate it. We thank you for watching. We hope you get some use out of this. Good luck, and we'll see you next time. Siri, what is 11 times 12?
It's 132.
Thank you.
Your wish is my command.
What is 0 divided by 0?
Imagine that you have 0 cookies and you split them evenly among 0 friends. How many cookies does each person get? See, it doesn't make sense. And Cookie Monster is sad that there are no cookies. And you are sad that you have no friends.
Sorry I asked.
It's all good.